Here we go then, guys. Simple pulley rig, easy to tie, do it in a couple of minutes. So it's a £60 big game there. On one end of that I'll just tie one of these little Trident clips. Use a half tuck blood knot. Wet it with saliva. Make sure you pull that down. Sometimes just grip it with a pair of pliers and pull on it. You don't want any slippage in any of your knots, especially when you're casting or playing a big fish. So we'll take that down along to about 2.5 feet. Snip the end off. Then just one of these little cheap pulley beads. Again, make sure they're strong. I always test mine first, make sure they're strong enough. Thread that on. Nice strong swivel. These are Gemini ones. Use any swivel as long as it's strong. I think they're about £80 swivels. They're stainless as well, so once again you can use them to go through the eye. Same knot again. You need one knot and that's it for this rig. Through the eye, pinch the two pieces of line, wrap the tag end round a few times, back again, through the little hole. That's what it should look like before you pull the knot down. Wet it with saliva. Get your pliers again. Pull that nice and tight. Just trim that little tag off. So that's basically, that's your trace. That's all it is. And then I'll just take, I use £30 amnesia. It's great stuff. It's probably the most widely used snood in sea fishing. Through the eye of the swivel, again wrap it round a few times, back up through the little hole, wet it down, pull it tight. You don't need your pliers this time because you can pull both pieces of line, get a good grip on it. Trim your tag like so, and if you just grip your, hang on a minute, let's get that, there we go, grip your pulley beads and slide it all the way up to the swivel. That will give you your snood length. You'll know how long to do that. You want it just a little bit shorter than where your clip is, so I reckon about there. Snip that off. And then hooks, really, I think probably the most important part. Last night for the rays I was using as a top hook of the pennel, using these Mustads. They're a Limerick Bend, but they've changed the name to Offset Soft Bait, if you can see that. 3/0s. They're a nice sharp hook, and you can probably see that digging in there straight away. And we'll just thread that on like so. Wrap it round so it's out the way. Bottom hook, the old faithful Kamasan B940s, 3/0 again. And you want the same knot again. See, one knot, that's all you need really. Through the hole, wet it down, pull that nice and tight. I'll leave the tag end a little bit longer, probably not. It just helps when you whip your bait on, it just keeps the bait on there. So that's more or less it. I mean, you just add a lead. If I'm fishing in deep water, I use these Rotos. A great little clip. When you're fishing in shallow water, I'll just go straight on the impact lead, which is there, because if the water's really shallow, sometimes the rotos don't eject. Your hook just goes in that little groove, and then you just clamp that down like that, and that's the rig. That's all there is to it. Straight down, and then you just clip on the end of your trace onto the pulley bead. Hope that's helped, and we'll catch up with you soon. Right, this is how I tie my running up and over rig. I'll start with £60 Amnesia, my favourite line for any rig bodies, hook lengths, anything like that. Strong as you like, knots don't slip. So we take a length of that, maybe 18-20 inches long. Cut that. Then you take one of these little fellas. That's just a standard bait clip. Any good quality strong ones will do. If you buy bulk cheap ones off eBay, they don't work. They open up. They're just not worth it. So tie that on. How I do my knots, just take it like that. Twist my finger, 1, 2, 3. Back through. Bit of spit. And then just work it down, pull it tight. There we go. Just trim that tag end a little bit shorter. So you take a little bead, thread that on, and then I like to use these Trident aero pulleys. Only recently got into the Trident gear, but I'm very impressed with it, and I use it on pretty much all of my rigs now. So you go through, back through the hole at the top, and back through to cross them over, like so. That just gives a little bit of resistance as it's sliding, which makes clipping your rigs and everything a bit easier. Follow that with another little bead. There we go. And then on the end of that, a good quality strong swivel. I nearly always just buy the breakaway ones. Never really had them fail on me, so use the same knot again. Like so. Bit of spit. And pull it tight. Trim the tag end. So far you've just got swivel, bead, aero pulley, bead, and then bait clip. Then for your hook length, again Amnesia, but this time £40. Little knot in it there. There we go. To measure my hook length, hold my line against my swivel, slide it down to your bait clip, hold it there, and just go back the other way again. I like to stop probably 3-4 inches short of the full double length, which in theory should leave your hook length just about right. So we cut that. Take that, tie that onto your swivel. Same knot again. I use the same knot for pretty much everything. So back through, pull it tight,
Then for me hooks, I like to use these for me top hook. This is for my most of my fishing really. It's a bit battered, the packet, but they're 4.0. I call them limericks. That's what I buy them as when I order them. But they're a lovely fine wire offset hook. Bend out of snags easily. But they're lovely and sharp as well. Pop that on as the top hook of my panel. And for my bottom hook, I like to use them. One of my favourites, the Varavas Saltwater Super Match. Again, they're a fine wire hook. They're nice and sharp. And they're a pattern I like. Not everyone's cup of tea, but tie that on with the same knot that I use for everything else. Trim off your tag end. I like to leave about 3-4 mil there, just helps hold your bait, stops anything from slipping. There we go. And then onto my pulley, I like to use the Trident Roto clips, my bait clips. Put that on there like that, and that's your finished rig. Just clip it up and I'll show you. Joe's just going to hold the camera up for you. That in there, roll it over, and there you go. There's your finished product. Nice short compact rig. Obviously pops off. It still gives you a nice decent length for casting, like well, for your trace. There we go.
Well, I've shown you how to tie them rigs. I'm just going to show you quickly here. I've got all my rigs at the end of the session. I've bung them in this little jar, and now I've cut all the components off like that. I'm just going to pour boiling water on them, bit of oil, dry them out, and I'm going to tie up a load more rigs ready for the next session. Brilliant little tip, saves you wasting rigs and just chucking them in your box and getting in tangles. That's the way to do it. There we have it then. There's 5 traces there, all made up, ready for snoods to go on. No time at all, get everything to hand, do them as you go, lovely.